Deadly violence on the job. A fired worker goes on a shooting rampage at a factory in Illinois. Extraordinary security as the alleged U.S. Embassy bomb murderers go on trial in New York. The warnings drug makers prefer you not see. Eye on America investigates. And a new theme park sparks a dispute of biblical proportions.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. Homicide in the workplace. The government says it's the fastest growing category of murder in America, and there was another dramatic case of it today. This time a former employee fired for stealing opened fire at the Navistar truck engine plant in the Chicago suburb of Melrose Park. He had worked there for almost 4 decades. When the shooting was over, 5 people were dead, including the gunman. CBS's Cynthia Bowers has more about this workplace violence.
For 39 years, William Baker worked at this suburban Chicago factory. Today, he returned armed with 2 assault rifles, a shotgun, a handgun, and a grudge.
I actually heard shots, and from what I hear, over 10 shots, and then one of my coworkers did get shot.
Baker opened fire on people working where he used to work, in the engine testing lab.
He went up one lane, made a right-hand turn, and came down another. And as he went, bodies were discovered.
8 people were shot. 4 died before Baker turned the gun on himself. In 1994, Baker was fired for reportedly stealing engines and parts. He was due to begin serving a 5-month term in federal prison tomorrow.
Maybe he got angry when he got fired. He kept it in his mind and it bothered him or something. He came back and to get revenge.
The 66-year-old man apparently drove his truck past a security checkpoint and took a guard hostage to gain entrance to the building. Employees now question their safety here.
There's always holes in security. If you've worked here, you sort of know the system and there's ways to get around it.
But with as many as 1,400 employees coming and going every day, is it possible to keep out someone determined to get in? Even security experts say probably not.
These subjects have the advantage of picking the time, the place, and the degree of violence that they're going to attack with.
All factors that work against companies trying to safeguard their employees. After all, who could have predicted William Baker would wait 6 years before taking revenge? Cynthia Bowers, CBS News, Chicago.
Sheriff's deputies in northeastern Kansas arrested 3 high school students today to head off what authorities call a Columbine-style massacre plot. The target, they say, was Royal Valley High School in the small town of Hoyt, north of Topeka. The 3 suspects, students aged 16, 17, and 18, are charged with conspiracy to commit murder. Authorities say another student tipped off the school's principal, and searches of the suspects' homes turned up dozens of guns and bomb-making materials. Here in New York, opening statements began today in the trial of 4 men charged in coordinated bomb attacks on 2 U.S. embassies. A federal prosecutor warned the jurors that they'll hear a tale of terrorism and murder that is, quote, long, complicated, and chilling. CBS's Jim Stewart has been covering this case from the start.
It's been 2.5 years since terrorist bombs exploded outside a pair of U.S. embassies in Africa, but the details are still fresh. Some of the 224 dead were literally vaporized. Others were found nailed to their desk by a hurricane of debris. What it did to human beings that day defies description, said Prosecutor Paul Butler at opening arguments for the first 4 defendants to stand trial for the bombings. And Butler wasted no time naming terrorist leader Osama bin Laden as the mastermind behind the attacks. Bin Laden's orders, prosecutors said, were to kill Americans anywhere in the world they can be found. Besides bin Laden, 16 other suspects are either on the loose or awaiting extradition or trial for the attacks. The indictment alone is 150 pages long. More than 100 witnesses from 6 countries will testify at a trial lasting 9 months. And it's a crucial case for the FBI, who more and more find themselves working overseas on terrorism cases with police departments who sometimes confuse interrogation and torture. In the embassy case, for example, defendant Mohammed Al-Awali said FBI agents withheld a lawyer and threatened to leave him in the hands of Kenyan police if he didn't talk. A federal judge has ruled that Al-Awali's statements may be used in any event, but the debate is not likely to end there.
The FBI has to have a strict rule. Not only will it not cooperate with law enforcement agencies like that, but it will in no sense partner with them by handing over suspects for a rougher treatment.
Prosecutors are also expected to quickly link bin Laden personally to the attacks. One early witness is expected to testify that when shown a map of the U.S. Embassy in Nairobi, bin Laden pointed to exactly where he wanted the truck bomb to go. Jim Stewart, CBS News at the FBI.
Of the 224 people killed in those attacks, 12 were Americans. Experts say they believe bin Laden will stop at nothing to strike back at the United States. So, as CBS's Jim Axelrod shows you now, this trial is being conducted behind one of the most elaborate security shields ever constructed.
Brand new, custom-made, and hydraulically operated, this barrier can stop a 7.5-ton truck going 80 miles per hour. Perched several stories up, these special cameras can read a newspaper from a block away. At this federal courthouse, the idea is to target terrorism and not the other way around.
Yes, this is the tightest security I've seen, and I think it's prudent to do that.
Raymond Kelly was the New York City police commissioner when the World Trade Center was bombed in 1993. This is the 5th major terrorism trial since then at this courthouse.
I think there's no question about it. We're at greater risk now than we've been in the past as far as terrorism is concerned. The genie is out of the bottle, so to speak.
Which is why a new line of thick steel posts have been planted 4 feet in the ground outside a courthouse with guards in recently built bulletproof booths.
The government has to do a better job than we've done in the past in protecting our citizens.
While the jurors themselves are not being sequestered, their identities are drawing some of the tightest security. Last month, for instance, the judge cleared the court for jury selection. No media, no members of the public. And today, when a courtroom artist attempted to sketch a picture which included a juror's face, U.S. Marshals made him erase it.
Well, certainly it's not a complete cure for the problem.
Bill Daly is a former FBI agent with a haunting reminder. The courthouse upgrades, impressive as they are, only go so far.
If a terrorist group wants to take a stance, they want to use this as a platform at which to conduct another act, there are many other venues, any place in the world, that represent the U.S. way of life.
Which, after all, is what this whole trial is about. Jim Axelrod, CBS News, New York.
Israeli voters head to the polls in a few hours to decide their country's future, and some say to choose between war and peace. Prime Minister Ehud Barak put it in just those stark terms today, calling the Middle East a powder keg, and his hardline challenger, Ariel Sharon, an extremist who could lead Israel into, quote, another bloody war with the Arabs. Polls say Sharon will win and will take it as a mandate to crack down on violent Palestinian protesters. An American aid worker freed yesterday by kidnappers in Chechnya is out of the embattled Russian region tonight, almost a month after he was abducted. Kenneth Gluck works for the international aid group Doctors Without Borders. And demolition goes on in western India, where more than 17,000 people are confirmed dead in last month's huge earthquake. But officials report an amazing rescue near the quake's epicenter, a brother and sister still alive after 10 days in the rubble. More than 60 passengers were hurt today, at least one critically, aboard an Amtrak passenger train bound from Niagara Falls to New York City. The train, carrying about 100 people, had just pulled out of the station in Syracuse, New York, when it plowed into the back of a freight train. Injuries included cuts, bumps, bruises, and possible broken bones. It was snowing, but it was not clear if this played any role in the train accident. The CBS Weather Watch shows the snow in Syracuse is part of a nasty and widespread winter storm system over the Northeast now, and is making travel difficult and dangerous. The storm dumped up to a foot of snow in some places and heavy rain and sleet in others where temperatures were a little warmer. Most airports are said to be operating, but with delays. Coming up next on the CBS Evening News, the real deal on tax cuts. How likely, how big, and if they're going to happen, how soon. And then later, the prescription drug warnings you may not see until it's too late.
Try it both ways. Most dancers are afraid of losing a step. After I had my stroke, I was afraid I'd never dance again. Now I take bare aspirin every day, like my doctor said, to help prevent another stroke.
Aspirin is not appropriate for everyone, so be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
And when my body is sore, I take extra strength Bear. It's that strong. It's great to be back.
Bear. Take it for pain, take it for life.
Glade Plug-in's Extra Outlet has the extra outlet built right in. So you can make any room in your home Glade fresh without blocking your outlets. Plug-in's Extra Outlet, fresh from Glade.
Plug it in, plug it in. Oh my, Applebee's Steak Toppers. Top sirloin with your choice of irresistible toppings. It's got to be Applebee's. Eat good.
Horsepower V8. Is it possible the ultimate performance and control machine isn't German, isn't Italian, and isn't a car? Introducing the GMC Sierra C3.
Something amazing is happening. It will change the way you bake your cookies, sweeten your cereal, even drink your coffee. Introducing Splenda no-calorie sweetener. It's made from sugar, so it tastes like sugar, but it's not sugar. It's Splenda no-calorie sweetener. Pretty amazing, huh?
This is Unisom Sleep Gels. It helps you sleep. This is Tylenol PM. It helps you sleep too. They both have the exact same amount of the exact same sleep ingredient. But Tylenol PM has added medicine for headaches, backaches, even fever. Do you have a headache? Backache? Fever? Then why take medicine for it? Take Unisom. It's a safe, non-habit-forming way to fall fast asleep.
That was an upbeat prediction today from a key member of the Federal Reserve, and it's at variance with some of what the Bush administration has been saying. William McDonough says the U.S. economy should pick up in the second quarter of the year, and by the second half, growth should be, and I quote him now, quite strong. That's even without the big tax cut President Bush insists is needed to give the economy a boost. CBS's John Roberts reports on the president's latest sales pitch.
President Bush was locked in full campaign mode today, parading before the cameras families he claims will benefit from his tax cut.
I'm asking all Americans to examine this plan, and I'm asking for your support.
Mr. Bush will send his plan to members of Congress on Thursday. Today, he sent this warning aimed at both sides of the aisle.
I want the members of Congress and the American people to hear loud and clear, this is the right size plan, it is the right approach, and I'm going to defend it mightily.
Democrats, collaborating on a smaller tax cut proposal, have vowed to fight the Bush plan, targeting it as a budget buster that caters to the rich.
You know, if you make over $300,000 a year, this tax cut means you get to buy a new Lexus. If you make $50,000 a year, you get to buy a muffler on your used car.
On the Republican side, Mr. Bush faces a different problem. Already they're talking up adding more tax cuts to his plan. And then there's the lobbyists who wonder why Mr. Bush gave nothing to corporate America. Critics charge the bill could eventually top $3 trillion.
Well, I'm afraid that we're going to see Congress bidding against each other to try to add things to this tax bill to please favorite contributors or constituencies. If that happens, gee willikers.
Bob McIntyre of Citizens for Tax Justice can't forget the last time Congress went at a tax cut spree in 1981. America is still paying the bill. And while those magnificent surplus projections make it seem like anything is possible, even the man who took the lid off the tax cut punch bowl cautions they are only a best guess.
The errors that are being made in these long-term projections are really quite extraordinary.
The Democratic leadership today criticized the president for trying to lock in a tax cut before he even has a budget, and they also voiced concern that his hands-off philosophy to make suggestions and let Congress work it out may give Republicans a green light for a tax cut free-for-all. Dan?
John Roberts. Looking beyond the photo ops and spins, CBS's Bob Schieffer has one of what we call his real deal analysis for you tonight on how this volatile mix of tax cut numbers and political equations could affect you. Bob?
Well, Dan, to put it bluntly, Tom Daschle and Dick Gephardt, the Democratic leaders at the Capitol, see this in a very different way. They told us tonight that when the Bush tax cut is added to the administration's projected spending plans, the cost will not only eat up the entire surplus, but even worse, government would have to dip into Social Security surpluses to pay for it. They say that is because the Bush tax cut would actually cost $2.3 trillion, not $1.6, when you add in interest and other costs. By Democratic figuring, that is 85% of the expected 10-year surplus, leaving only $400 billion to cover spending increases already projected to run more than $700 billion on such programs as prescription drugs, education, and defense. Gephardt and Daschle want a tax cut too, something in the neighborhood of $800 billion, but they fear anything larger could set off the kind of red-ink spending that produced the enormous deficits of the 1980s. Dan.
Bob Schieffer at the Capitol. On the CBS Market Watch, natural gas prices plunged 16% today, at least on the commodities markets. Prices are down 44% since Christmas on predictions that milder weather when it comes may cut demand. But natural gas is still twice as expensive as it was a year ago. On Wall Street, the Dow blue chips closed up 101 points. The NASDAQ went the other way, down 17. Next here on CBS, what you don't know about your prescription drugs could kill you, and even your doctor may not know.
Enterprise? Hi, my car's out of commission, so I'm out of commission.
Enterprise will arrange to pick you up,
This is great.
drive you to our place, and get you on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
When it comes to your health, never compromise, even when choosing a laxative. You need one that's strong enough to work overnight, but also gentle. Try doctor-recommended Dulcolax. Its comfort coating even protects your stomach. Get strong, get gentle, get doctor-recommended Dulcolax.
I can do this. Wallpaper does not scare me.
I could do pretty much anything.
I hate this picture.
No job is too big. Home Depot makes it easy.
The price is right.
I made it beautiful.
How do you know so much?
I'm a gardener, I'm a plumber, I'm the floor tiler.
Gone. I'm the supervisor.
I turned my garage
She's my hero.
back into a garage.
This is my house.
This is why I
Go to the Home Depot first.
The Home Depot. First in home improvement.
You think you're on the right track. You save $10 on a $10,000 stock trade, but then you lose $100 because of lousy execution. There are no shortcuts to financial success. Anyone can offer cheap trades. Very few online brokers can offer the world's best financial thinking. Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. Move your money. Get well connected.
Interest in the yellow pages? Falling? Now there's something better. Switchboard.com, a free directory powered by the internet. It's business listings, it's people search, it's maps and directions, locally and nationally. So before you pick up a yellow pages, drop in on us instead. Switchboard.com. Think outside the book.
Glade Candle Scents. Created by nature. Captured by Glade.
Hello, America, how are you?
You know, when you eat good, you feel good.
Healthy Choice soups make it easy to feel good.
We're both feeling good.
And now they have a whole new taste that may surprise you. Healthy Choice. Feel good food.
He was their only son. Was it an accident that took his life or a defective product? This popular rifle may have a potentially deadly defect.
I just went to take the safety off, and it fired.
Eye on America begins a two-part investigation tomorrow, only on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Tonight's Eye on America is a hard news investigation of potentially deadly risk of prescription drugs, risks that are hidden in plain sight. They are the side effects of the drugs, listed in the package inserts, which a lot of people throw away immediately. But even doctors may not catch all the fine print in time to prevent a medical mistake. And as CBS's Cheryl Atkinson reports, the hard-to-read labeling is no accident.
After shoulder surgery, Darlene Rutherford's doctor prescribed a new painkiller called Duract.
It worked wonders. What she didn't know was that while it was relieving her pain, it was destroying her liver. After 3 months, she fell into a coma and needed an emergency liver transplant.
She was actually down to days to live before they found her liver.
As it was, the only liver warning on Durac's label was mildly worded and buried so deep in tiny print, her doctor didn't think it would be a problem.
As I understand that when the drug came out, it was supposed to have a black box label on it, but it didn't.
But we didn't find that out until after I've taken it.
A black box is a special warning, the strongest possible. The FDA's medical officer had wanted one on Durac's label to alert doctors to the risk of liver damage. But a black box can damage sales, and Durac's maker, Wyeth Erst, argued against it. Negotiations got so heated, the FDA medical officer assigned to the drug accused the drug maker of crafting a label to avoid blame, so that the physician will be sued instead of Wyeth Erst in the event of fatal liver damage. But the company convinced FDA officials to reject their medical officer's advice. There would be no black box. Such nasty negotiations aren't unusual when millions of dollars in sales are at stake, according to Dr. Donald Marks, who works in the pharmaceutical industry and consults for the FDA.
If the pharmaceutical company believes that a black box will be the kiss of death for the product, then they will argue with the FDA. They'll apply the pressure of members of Congress. They'll use the pressure of leaders of industry, popular figures.
To not have the black box.
To not have a black box warning.
And it's not just the dreaded black box. Every single word on a drug's label or in ads is open to bargaining and debate.
If you have arthritis pain, there's reason to celebrate.
Ads for the arthritis medicine Celebrex have been cited 3 times for overstating benefits. But the FDA has little power to police companies' claims. The agency has issued hundreds of warnings about exaggerated claims or side effects drowned in a sea of confusion. Dr. David Flockhart studies labeling issues and is convinced that confusing and misleading labels are putting patients in jeopardy every day.
At the moment, what we're doing is dangerous.
In what respect?
And the people who need the information can't get it. They can't see. You can't see the forest for the trees.
That's why the FDA is now working on a proposal for new user-friendly labels that would include a prominent section highlighting what doctors really need to know. In the case of Durac, Wyeth Erst finally agreed to add that black box it fought so hard against, but only after the drug had been used by thousands and was linked to serious liver damage.
I'm just glad that she's here alive and doing well.
But even a black box couldn't save Durac. In less than 1 year, it was pulled from the market, blamed in 4 deaths and 8 liver transplants, including Darlene Rutherford's. In Washington, this is Cheryl Atkinson for Eye on America.
Startled commuters saw a bug dangling from the Golden Gate Bridge this morning, but it was no spider, it was a beetle. The shell of an old Volkswagen, hanging like a stranded bungee jumper 100 feet over the entrance to San Francisco Bay. A group of Canadian engineering students traveled all the way from Vancouver for the prank and apparent law violation. Up next, CBS takes you to a Bible-based theme park. Is it about entertainment or conversion?
For all those who have difficulty bathing and for all those who care for them, take comfort.
Take comfort, take comfort. There's comfort bath, take comfort.
Comfort Bath. Thick as a washcloth, disposable Comfort Bath can be microwaved for a warm, soothing bath. Comfort Bath leaves skin soft and smooth.
There's comfort bath, take comfort.
Look for Comfort Bath at your drugstore.
Zeke's a mighty dog. A dog his size has less calcium in his bones than larger dogs, so Zeke gets Mighty Dog. It's rich in calcium for strong bones. It'll make your dog a mighty dog. From Friskies.
Hey, wait, you still awake back there?
Yes, and it's my turn.
So why are we wasting our time with this? You know everyone likes the sweet side best.
That's just the point. I'm going to have to prove once and for all that people prefer me, the weed side.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, maybe you should show a little leg.
We don't have any legs.
It's an expression.
It's not a very good expression.
Look, don't give me a lip.
We don't have any lips either.
Just watch the road.
It's been a long time coming. But I'm leaving you in good hands. Sarah?
Thanks, Dad.
Taking care of business.
In business, you can count on things to change. That's why millions of companies count on Office Depot to help them take care of business.
Taking care of business.
You know, when the toilet bowl overflows over the floor, it's not a nice thing. You could have a lot of trouble with your septic if you don't maintain it. It could also back up on the lawn. It's cheaper to maintain your septic system.
The bacteria and enzymes in Rid-X help prevent septic backups. Use Rid-X once a month.
You get 1 minute every morning. 1 minute to start the day off right. It's a minute to wake up the person inside you that still swings for the fences. Minute Maid Premium Orange Juice. Squeeze the day. New Minute Maid Premium Orange Juice with extra vitamin C and E plus zinc.
Coming up tonight at 6, the warm weather brings out all of the scam artists. Tonight at 6, we'll tell you about one scam artist in particular and what you can do to protect yourself.
There are no castles, no pirates, no mice. A new theme park opened today in the shadows of Disney World, attracting not only tourists, but protesters. CBS's Bobby Harley gives you a tour.
Orlando's latest offer on the theme park front is a long way from Disney World. It's called the Holy Land Experience. There are no rides here, only facades of ancient biblical places, a restaurant that serves up Goliath burgers, and a gift shop that sells Jewish and Christian religious artifacts. The owner, a Jewish-born Baptist minister, says it will help him spread the word of God.
It costs $17.50 to walk through these gates. That's a bargain compared to many of the other attractions in Orlando. And the owners say it's barely enough to keep this place running. But others have some questions about exactly what that money is funding.
Stop the stealing of the heritage of the Jewish people.
The Jewish Defense League insists the profits made here will go to the park's owner, Zion's Hope, a group that strives to convert Jewish people to Christianity.
There are two ways that you can murder a Jew: physically, like Auschwitz, and spiritually, the way of Marvin Rosenthal.
Marvin Rosenthal is the founder of Zion's Hope and the Holy Land Experience.
Are we targeting Jewish people with any kind of exclusivity? The answer is absolutely no, nor do we believe that we're in the conversion business.
But the first visitors to the park today, followers of Rosenthal's for years, say exactly the opposite is true.
You know, there are people coming to Christ through this ministry.
Jews specifically?
Yes, that's mainly what he's trying to do, is try to reach the Jewish people.
What the Jewish community fears most is that the Holy Land Experience is in the shadow of the entertainment parks, and they're millions of tourists. Maybe an all-too-easy ride for economic, perhaps even spiritual success. Bobby Harley, CBS News, Orlando.
And that's part of our world tonight. Dan Rather reporting for the CBS Evening News. Thanks for choosing CBS. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, CBS.com on the internet and on our interactive partner, America Online, at keyword CBS News.
Does this popular rifle have a potentially deadly defect? Tomorrow, experience CBS News.